There are 5 decisions that you can make that would determine the outcome of your life. And it's important that you take note of these decisions and ensure that they are the right decisions. The first one is who you marry. Who you marry is a destiny deciding decision. In fact, it's a choice that can determine the outcome of your life. It's a choice that can determine your destiny. It's a choice that can determine the quality of your life. Who you marry can make or mar you. Who you marry can elevate your life, or who you marry can actually bring down and destroy your life. So it's important that as you're making a decision of who you want to get married to, ensure that that person has the characteristics, that love, that wisdom, the character, the other factors that would help you know that you are with the right person. Ensure that you marry the right person, because if you marry right, it would determine a lot of things when it comes to your life. The second thing is the career path that you choose to work in. Career path in this case could be a job, it could be a course, it could be a business, it could be a vocation. Anything that you decide that you want to become or you want to use to serve the society in terms of service, in terms of goods, whatever it is, it's important that you make the right choice, because for the most part of your life, you would be doing that thing. If it's about building a business, building a company, it would take you at least 8 hours every day of your life to build it. If it's working on a 9 to 5, it will take you at least 8 hours to do that. So in taking a decision of the type of career path you want to work in, even as a student, just making up your mind that this is the course I want to study because I want to become a doctor tomorrow. These things determine the outcome of our lives. They contribute to shaping our destinies. So ensure that as you're making up your mind on the career path you want to follow, or the business that you want to run, or the job that you want to have, ensure that it is what would help you feel fulfilled. It is what would help you grow. It is what will help you fulfill your destiny or fulfill your purpose. So it's important that you make the right choice as far as your career path is concerned. The third thing is the organization that you work with. The organization we work with. A lot of times we don't know how powerful the organization we work with is as far as our lives are concerned, as far as our destinies are concerned. You work in an organization and that organization is very toxic. The culture is very highly competitive, that they can run anyone under the bus. The environment is not an environment that supports your growth, that supports your personal development. If, for instance, you work on a 9 to 5, every day of your life you spend 8 hours with these people in this organization. And so if the people in that organization are toxic people, if the culture of the organization does not support your growth, does not support your mental health, does not support your progress, you will just end up working in a place that drags you back rather than pushes you forward into your destiny. So it's important to think about the organization that you want to work with, or the organization that you work with, because they contribute to your destiny. They contribute to the quality of your life. They contribute to the outcome of your life. So ensure that you are in the right place as far as where your work is concerned. The fourth thing is where you live. Your environment is very critical. Your environment is very critical. The question you want to ask yourself is, what are the values, or what are the value systems that bind this society, or bind this environment, or bind this location that I've decided to live in? Okay, so I've seen how powerful an environment can be. I've seen how powerful an environment can shape a child or shape an individual. I've seen how powerful an environment can determine the future of a child. So for some of us that want to travel abroad, One question you want to ask yourself is, what are the value systems in these places? What are the value systems that the schools have imbibed, the communities have imbibed, the society have imbibed? Okay, are these values the type of values that I want to use to raise my children? Okay, are these values, or do these values support my personal growth? Does this value support my personal fulfillment? Does this value help me in any way? So where you live is very critical, because the vices or the values or the lifestyle in that environment can determine the outcome of your life. If an environment is not safe, if an environment has robbers, in terms of they lack security, there's a tendency that you probably will die or you'll be shot someday, because that environment is not safe. If you look at conflict impacted areas, okay, those conflict impacted areas, people decide to live in those areas, and a lot of times they become casualties because the environment is not safe. So where you live is important, and you have to think about it holistically, in terms of security, in terms of availability of opportunities, in terms of the values and the culture and everything. Where you live can determine the quality of your life. It can determine the outcome of your life. Now, number 5 is also very important: where you worship. As far as humans are concerned, we are spiritual beings. We need to be fed spiritually. We need to hear words, that inspire us, that would help us keep moving, keep pushing, and to keep fulfilling our purposes and our destinies in life. And where we worship is a place that can help contribute to the outcomes of our lives. So as you try to live life, as you try to navigate life, as you try to fulfill your destiny and fulfill your purpose in life, understand that where you worship is important. And you have been assigned a pastor for you. You have been assigned a pastor for you. So don't just decide that, I want to go to a church and just worship. All right? Ask God, ask the Holy Spirit, where do you want me to worship? Which pastor have you assigned to help me fulfill my destiny in terms of the things that is permitted to be speaking to my life? Not everyone is permitted to speak into your life. And so that's why you must be under the right authority, under the right church family, under the right pastor who God has ordained to speak directly into your life and to spur you to fulfill your destiny and your purpose. So it's important that you think about these 5 things, because they will contribute to shaping the outcome of your life. There are 5 destiny deciding choices that you need to make. Who to marry is number 1. What career path to choose is number 2. What organization to work with is number 3. Where you live, number 4. And where you worship, number 5. I hope that this has helped you. There are also other destiny deciding decisions that you'll encounter in life. The most important thing is, as you're taking those decisions, ensure that you're taking them for your own good. Ensure that it is benefiting you. Ensure that you've thought about it holistically, and you know that if you take this decision this way, it will help improve the quality of your life and push you into fulfilling your destiny. I hope this helps you. Take care of yourselves and receive sense.